we went down. We went to Cali, right? Um, Hold on, not that one. Let's start with these. Let's start with these. All right, so we went to Cali, right? Um, so we went down. For anybody that knows me knows, um, the uh, like the mud flood conversation. I'm huge on, right? I'm also huge on melted buildings. But one of my first like favorite videos, y'all remember No Forest on Flat Earth? Put a one in the chat if you remember No Forest on Flat Earth. Like
I
that
want
was
to
one
put
of
some
my,
bullshit so fucking bad, but yes, I do, and I fuck with that
hey, I know, right? So No Forest on Flat Earth was the joint. Um, One of the things that it shows us is that um the a lot of the things that we see right in front of us, like they aren't really what we think they are, right? So a lot of the stuff that it shows us is that the stuff that we see isn't what we think it is, right? Um, so uh the biggest lesson that we get out of it is that all geology is biology, right? All geology is biology. Okay. I think that's probably the best lesson. All geology is biology. What's this? 3725. Give me a second. 3725. This shouldn't be here. Give me a second. Um. Oh no. Change who has access. Move. Um. Give me a second. 3726. This shouldn't be here either. Okay. Um. All right. What does that mean? All geology is biology. Well, um, if nothing else, um, so this is one of my favorite subjects. All right. So let's look. I'm gonna get y'all a link so we can look at some stuff. All right.
I'm
So
definitely gonna ask what that means because I'm like, wait, a minute, all geology is biology. You know, what's
all geology is biology.
gotta make that make sense to me.
I am. That's what I'm gonna drop you this link for. Um, let's see. Hey, so remember blackisuniform.com, blackisuniform.com. Link up top, man. Get your Reclaiming the Bow shirt. And other apparel at blackistheuniform.com. Click the link up top right quick because I'm finna change it. I'm gonna put this link up top. Okay. So y'all want to go and check out all the merch? Click on it right now, and then we'll talk. All right. Okay. So everybody click on the Google Drive. Let me know if y'all can get into it. Let me know if you can get into it. All right. So let's go to, if you get into it, let's go to, oh no, go to, what's this? Go to one called Tree Bark. All right. Go to Tree Bark. Let's start it there. Let's start at Tree Bark. Or, yeah, go to, no, go to Stone is Wood. Right? It's Stone is Wood. Yeah, go to Stone is Wood. Okay. There's one called Stone is Wood up in there. Go to that one. All right. Stone is Wood. Got it. Okay. So, uh, good stuff. Everybody at Stone is Wood. So we're starting there because I want y'all to see this at a macro level. What we talking about. So what you're looking at. is um, somebody showing you a small piece of tree bark, right? It's a really small. Is that piece in the top corner can fit in his hand, right? And when you look at the way it's constructed, the geometry of it, right? It literally looks like that large piece of rock right there, where people would call a boulder. It's got the same geometric shapes. It fits together the same way that the wood fits together. You see that? See how it's composed the same. Um, if you go to Stone is Wood 2, all right, so there's two of them called Stone is Wood. And in the second one, you can see the same thing. So essentially, what we're saying is that all the rocks, everything you call rocks on this planet, um, were once biology. They were once trees. Okay, like if I'm being hyperbolic when I'm talking to people, sometimes I'll just say, "Yo, there's no such thing as rocks." And you're like, "What you talking about? There's always rocks." No. So everything that you know as a rock was a petrified tree. Okay,
Not all rocks.
What about stones?
same thing. It all started off as biology. Rhonda, what didn't start off as
So
biology?
stone people, lava rocks. So when volcanoes erupt, they spit out the lava. When it hardens, it's not a tree. It's from molten lava. It becomes a rock.
Okay. Where do you think the lava came from?
The core of the earth.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yes, inside.
There, there is no core of the earth.
Well, that's another discussion for another day. But the
Right.
lava is melted tree, my bro.
Lava. So you ever see now you make me regret not putting because I had a picture for this.
Rhonda just hit you with a my guy hit me.
I know, right? um you ever see like farmers, they'll put like if they cut down trees or something, they'll put like a pile of wood, um and then if they leave it there long enough the pile of wood will start smoking. You ever see that? You ever notice that?
No.
Yeah. So
Like
um
compost?
y-
Is
um
that what you talking about? Like a compost pile?
compost, yeah, sometimes it's compost, sometimes it's just wood.
Yeah,
if
but
you
wood
if you
can it's the same shit, nigga. Something dry, a
Yeah,
little bit of something green, plus some water, make heat.
yeah,
Tie
yeah.
that tie
So
that tie that back to the volcano erupting.
I am. So essentially, 'cause that's literally what we're getting to, right? Here, let me see. You know what? You know what? I'll say it now, and then we'll talk about it later. So essentially, um, when you stack uh biologic material like that, inside of it, it starts to break down, and there are chemical reactions, and it starts to heat up, and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And so when farmers do it, it'll just turn into fire, right? Because it's not buried that deep. However, if it's happening in a big pile, and the thing that it's in the structure that it's in has a lot of mass and it's hard to break through, then it gets hotter and hotter, and the pressure builds up, and so the material that's inside of it starts to melt, right? And it forms what you call lava, and eventually the pressure builds up enough to where it explodes. So that lava is also ex biologic material.
Hey, so if you say these trees was made of other shit, I could see how that makes sense considering like how compost piles work and shit. So like it break down to what is it? Compost, right? So what if like if it was some other material, it could break down to like something super hot like lava or some shit like that. It ain't just to be thrown away. You know what I'm saying? It got merit to it. I see you, Linnell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
But
okay with it being other biological material, just
yeah,
not trees.
you said just not who.
Trees.
So the
Trees
question,
made of something
well,
different
we'll
though.
so we're gonna get to all that. So that's part of a different file. So right now we're going through um we're going through hold on, where's the one? We're trying to introduce the concept, right? That all the mountains, all the rocks you see, right? Where did they come from? Right? Rocks aren't born, right? Rocks aren't born. All right. So rocks are essentially petrified biological material or
That
geological
yeah, that's
material.
different than saying that all rocks are
Biological.
trees.
Huh?
It's
Um.
yeah.
So are trees are biological, right?
No,
Biological.
I mean, there's a lot of biological material in there. So I mean, I'm just saying the statement saying all rocks are trees is conclusive.
So again,
It's
tell
not.
me another place where a rock can come from.
I'm
I just
agreement.
explained to you
I'm
how.
agreement that it's
Oh,
it's biological material, but not just from trees.
no, I'm trying to say what other biological material besides the trees can turn into what could cause the mountains or whatever.
I keep coming from the Chevy factory. Like a rock.
I know, right? All right. Let's see. Go to if you go to tree stump. Yeah, go to tree stump. Let's see what's a tree stump. Tree stump. Yeah, go to the one called tree stump. All right. Is tree stump there actually? Yeah, let's go to tree stump. Actually, no, go to Jagurtha. Hey, y'all know what's funny is I actually have a cousin named Jagurtha. I didn't know where that shit came from. I think it's an indigenous name. It's got to be.
Is a he or she?
It's a he.
He
So,
wide?
hmm,
Is he wide?
no. Even though he got freckles, red hair and freckles. But
Not
yeah, I
white,
got a cousin named
nigga.
Jagurtha.
Wide.
Oh,
God
why?
damn, bro.
No,
I
he's
can't
slender.
even speak in my regular accent around you niggas. You act like y'all can't
Oh,
understand me.
I
Wide,
don't
nigga.
understand
Wide
bumpkin,
body.
man. No, I don't understand bumpkin, dog. My bad.
You,
Um,
Linnell.
so yeah, I got a cousin named Jagurtha, and he named his son Jagurtha Jr. His name we call him JJ. Um, so look at Jagurtha. Jagurtha, look at the top of Jagurtha. What do you see? Right? See those circles? All right. Just like looking top down on a tree ring. All right. Looks like a big ass goddamn tree stump. Okay. Um, so look at Jagurtha 2, and we see literally similar, it looks to be the same shape. Right. So you see what a tree stump looks like today, and then we look at what they call plateaus or mesas. I remember when I was a kid in school, and they was like, "Oh yeah, there are plateaus." Like, yeah, what the hell is a plateau? I just thought everything was a mountain. They were like, "Oh no, it's a plateau. A plateau is a flat top." How the fuck you get a flat top? All right. How the hell do they get flat tops?
The
All
two
right.
guard, take it off the top.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. Let's go to which one is this one? Go to tree stump. Yeah, let's go back to tree stump. Okay. And so with these, what I'm showing you is the trees here, right? The regular tree stumps as we see them, and the plateaus or the mesas as they're referred to. So we're looking at mesas and regular tree stumps. And we're seeing how these joints look eerily freaking similar. All right. Go to tree stump 2. Go to tree stump 2. Hey Kima, you right. What about the humans, the petrified humans? I'm with you, but might get some petrified humans. Maybe. You right. Let's see. So go to tree stump 2, right? What do we see? Real similar. These two mountains look like just like these two tree stumps off to the right. All right? They look like the exact same. Okay. Hit the tree stump 4 or the 3. That's 3. Is it a 3 up here? Where's 3 at? Oh man, I skipped 3. All right, hit tree stump 4. All right. See this little tree stump with a hole in it? Then we look over to the left. Tree stump with a hole in it. How we get here? I don't know how you create that. All right.
Hey, now just adding to the convo. When I was out there on Route 66, I asked some of the locals, like, what do y'all know about all of this petrified wood and then mesas out there? And they were clueless. I found that interesting. Talking about Navajos.
Hey man, they didn't get it.
But most people are. Like, most people don't care about this shit. Like, why would they?
That's facts.
Allegedly, that's supposed to be part of their culture. What is it called? Nomad, petrified forest, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Ain't
and that
that- yeah.
Yeah, but it could be
exactly. That's what
folklore.
just makes it. Well, I mean, what's just funny to me is that up and down I-40, you see petrified wood, sold here, gift shop, petrified wood. And then even Geronimo, they call this big piece of the biggest piece of petrified wood, Geronimo. But and then they look off in the distance and see these tree stumps. They don't put it all together like we are. Some of them, I mean, most of them, I think, don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just
All
gotta
right.
say though that this is very astounding, man. As far as like this, the comparisons, as far as these plateaus and mesas compared to tree stumps, this is unimaginable how big those trees really were.
Bruh. Bruh.
The whole thing I get from this, I know I'm probably jumping ahead, but the whole thing I get from this world gotta be bigger than what they telling us.
This joint is gotta be freaking huge with the Y. Huge with the Y. Right? So think about the tree in Avatar, right? That joint was small compared to these joints. Get me? So yeah, go ahead, go to tree. What was that? Tree stump. It was at 4. Hit up 6. I think that's the next one over, right? Hit 7. 6 is kind of blurry. Hit 7. All right. Take a look. Like I said, same, 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 same. Hit 8. I'm sorry. Yeah, hit tree stump 8. All right. All these things you seeing, right? So these are the mountains. So this is the stumps. These are the stumps. Okay. So remember, the stumps is what's left after they get cut down. Go to 9. Tree stump 9, right? Right there. The stumps is what's left after they get cut down. Okay. um, go to 10. All right. So these is mesas. Remember, they tell you, oh, it's just this rock formation. How the fuck did this shit form? I don't know. Them, the Earth. The what they say, the plate tectonics came together and pushed the Earth up. After it formed. Let me get that shit the fuck out of here.
Facts, right? Because if you imagine, because if you imagine, that hit me one day
Yo,
too. If you imagine it, if that's what they want to say, then that means the Earth was pushing in 360 degrees towards one spot, like trying to pop a pimple. Come on now, stop it.
bruh. Yeah, buddy. What you say, Diamond?
No,
Talk no more to me. Oh, talk no more back to third grade. Oh, taking me back to third grade facts.
say what you had just said again, Linnell. I missed it
About
about
what?
about how Lombard said like the pimple shit. What was the comparison?
Nah, just so Linnell was going through like the how they would like to explain how those mesas exist, right? But just imagining it, for that to happen, the Earth is pushing in 360 degrees towards one point. Where's that at in
Oh,
biology?
okay,
Where's
okay.
that? Yeah.
We talking about the Masons. I get it.
Yeah. All right. Your tree stump 10. Saw that one. All right. So remember what I'm saying is that there were trees here. These joints get cut down, and then there's going to be some sort of petrification that happens afterwards. But it's not just trees. Go to 1809, image 1809. So on the right is Devil's Tower, and on the left is fungus on a tree. And so I know a lot of people say they be like, "Oh, Devil's Tower was a tree that got cut down." No, think it was more of a fungus, a giant fucking fungus. This looks just like that. Same.
Yeah, I used to say it was a tree until this was shown to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. All right. So what? So it wasn't just the trees that were giant. Everything was big, including life. All right. Same. Um. So go to 3728. If you just got here, the link's up top. 3728. On the left, you see um where people are walking. So that's what the ground looks like. And on the right is a tree. So it's the bark of the tree that they're walking on. Giant fucking tree bark. Okay. Giant tree bark. If you click, you go to the next one, 3737. There's more comparisons between the geometry and construction of the tree, the little piece of tree my man got in his hand, and what you would see walking through a forest. What you would see walking through a forest. 3741. So we're looking at cedar. Okay, so the next couple pictures is cedar. So that's just a close up of some cedar, some small cedar. Now we go to 3742, and you see where it looks like a branch fell. Right? See this branch that fell? and because of the dust that fell around it, other trees, smaller trees, started to grow. But those trees are growing on fallen trees, fallen pieces of trees. Okay. 3743 is a close up of some tree bark. Okay. And 3744 is what they would call a mountain, close up of a mountain. All right. Can't tell the difference. If I told you this is some tree bark, you'd be like, okay, go to 3745. So look at 3745 and then go back to 3744. Same thing. Same geometric structure, same color. One of them is a mountain, and the other one is a piece of bark from a tree. Same thing. All right. If you just got here, we you can click the link up top. We looking at pictures. All right. So right now we're looking at things that they tell you are mountains, but when you actually examine the geometric structure, you can see it's identical to trees. Interesting. 3746. Same thing. All right. It's just tree bark that's petrified that we call rocks and mountains. You know what I mean? Nice and simple. 3747.
You know damn well this supposed to be a live show.
You said what?
You know damn well this supposed to be a live show, nigga. Got me going to this goddamn link, coming back and shit.
I know, right? This could definitely be a live show. So this is another, it's like a tree stump, right? This could be a close up of a little patch of grass that got a tree stump, but it's not. It's what they would call a mesa. Know what I'm saying? Let's see, 3748. Just showing you this is what they call mountains. Like if you're driving through Tennessee, they'll call these mountains. Right? They'll be like, oh, giant mountain over there. They'll call it somebody's rock. Oh, that's Gus's rock over there. Right? People go climb it. Oh yeah, we're gonna climb Gus's rock. Great hike. Right? Go to what's that, 3749. Bunch of pieces of tree that fell. Just laying down, and trees grew around it. Okay. Go to 3750. See the same striations. It's the inside of a tree. Okay. 3751. See a piece of a tree. All right. You see the pieces of the tree sticking up, but there's also a lot of dust and dirt around it that ended up getting petrified. So it's there. Go to 3752. And so those individual kind of slabs you see, those are the tree rings. Those are the tree rings. In 3752, those are the tree rings. Got me? That's what the rings look like. So it got laid down, and that's what the tree rings look like. Then you go to 3753. You can just see, yo, this is the composition of what the inside of a tree looks like. All right, broken up, laid down. Same thing on 54. All right, it's just how this is how a tree is built. 3755, same. All right, 56 is the same. All right. How do you get this? How do you get this? This is geometry right here. How do you get this? That's how nature builds. Got me? Um, all right. Any questions about all geology is biology? Anybody got any questions right now? All right. Figure we start off looking at just kind of the basics of the situation. Anybody got any questions? You can type them in the chat. If you're on stage, you can spit them out. Nobody. Any thoughts? Anybody got any thoughts? What do you say? Geology is botany. You know what? I don't know. It's tree botany? I guess so. Yeah, geology is botany. There you go. I'm not mad at that. Geology is botany.
But would
Um,
it be botany? Are they alive? Are we saying these rocks is? I'm gonna say rocks in there, but you know what I mean. These
yeah,
rock trees. Are we saying they alive or they dead?
I gotta look up the definition of botany. Hold on.
That's that shit that grow is
Oh,
alive. Plants and shit.
I know, right? Let's see. Yeah, we
You
gotta
can
go
answer
there.
my question, nigga. Fuck that botany.
What's your question? My
Is
bad.
this
What's your
shit
question?
alive or is it dead?
No, it's dead. It was cut down.
All right.
Yeah, it's cut down.
But still, cut down shit can still be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like you can cut a tree down and it can still take root sometime. You know what I mean?
Um, you can cut a tree down and it can take root. Yeah, that's under certain circumstances. But so the thing is, these things weren't cut down and just went about their business, right? This wasn't that kind of operation. Just not, oh, we just cut it down and it can possibly grow into something else, this, that, and the other type shit. All right. This is some other shit. All right. So
And
simply put,
hold on. One last question.
yeah.
Do we have, you know how they say mountains is the fucking tectonic plates pushing up against each other? Do
Hmm.
we have any motherfucking data on the growth of any mountain in the last 150 years, 100 years, 50 years?
No, what they'll tell you is that, oh no, it takes, billions of years for mountains to form. They say shit like that.
But still, though, I remember
No.
what she say, third grade, whatever the fuck. I remember they talk about, oh, it grow an inch or 19 centimeters a year or some shit. Like we ain't got none of that.
Uh, I'm sure they. You know what? I think on Wednesday. Remember, I read there's an article out
I
on
wasn't
Wednesday
here.
talking about how the moon is pulling away from the Earth. It's pulling away at I think it's like 1.33 centimeters a year. So I'm sure they can make up something for you. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
ain't nobody like we ain't got no legit measurements.
Ain't no
It's gonna
measurements
be
of it. No,
shit.
ain't no
I
measurements of
had
it.
a tree cutter one time. He told me that it takes 150 years for a tree to grow, 150 years for it to live, and about 150 years to die.
Mm,
So if we go by that math, I don't know how to answer the question.
bruh. Bull fucking bruh. Jesus Christ. All
Yeah,
right.
I got a
So in
question.
other words,
What's
Mount
up, bro?
Everest been the same height since forever.
What up, AJ?
What you said, Marty?
He said everything been the same height since forever. What you say, AJ?
Nah, it was me.
Oh, who's that? Invisible?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Yeah, Devil's Tower. Are you saying that that's a petrified fungus?
Fungus, yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, if that's the fungus, what was the um like I guess like what would be the tree or whatever it would be that it was growing on? Because,
It,
You wouldn't
it's
it's
necessarily have
it's
to
on
own
a
a tree.
tree. Yeah, it
it's
grew on
on
a
a tree.
tree.
But
Yeah.
fungus can grow other places besides tree. Do it have to be a tree that they grew on?
What can it grow on? Let me see.
Nigga, fungus grow out the mushrooms are fungus. Mushrooms grow out the dirt.
I'm talking. You know, I'm talking about that specific one. Look at it. Look at the root of it. What does it look like it's on? It
I ain't
looks
looking at
like,
it.
huh?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
Oh, it's Let me see. Which one was it? It was. It was
1809.
yeah, 1809. Yeah, it's 1809. So it looks like it was attached to a fucking tree. You know what I'm saying?
But
Could
this
have.
fucking app. So if it was attached to a tree, how it get in that position and stay like that and not deteriorate? If it, so I'm assuming this is me making an assumption. It
Yeah.
came off of a tree that they cut down or some shit, and that's the place it rested.
I don't know. It might have grew after they cut the bitch down.
So, hold on, let me shit. I'm gonna stay off mute and look at
Well,
it.
it makes sense. It makes sense that a fungus would grow, you know,
Yeah.
after something
But
was
if
cut down. That's how they feed them, themselves. And
so,
not all types of, not every mushroom grows on dirt. Some mushrooms
true,
require
true.
wood from different
But
environments and things like that.
Yeah.
everything around it is flat. So like if it was, you know what I'm saying, some other shit, like what is
Look at the
this?
one. Look at the
That
one
ain't.
next to it. Right. It's sitting on something
That's what I was
flat.
gonna say. Like if it
Yeah.
was like I ain't think that was a good example, but yeah, if it was like that, I see you, right? But everything next to it flat. Like there ain't no protrusions from the earth except that.
Yeah. It looked like
You know
it's
what I'm
on a
saying? Like
log.
in my
So
mind,
that one on the left looked like it's sitting on a log.
exactly, right? It look like
Yeah.
it's sitting on a log, but the
Yeah.
log is round, you know what I'm saying? The ground around Devil's Tower is flat. So it don't
It's
make
only.
sense to me.
Well, you
If
don't
hold on,
know it's flat. No, what I'm saying is you don't know it's flat.
what you
Right.
mean? Elaborate. From my eyesight, what I'm looking at in this picture.
Right. So the thing is, all you know what? One of the things I've been saying for years is that we've never seen the ground.
Oh,
Like everything,
you
like
gotta go with that, nigga. What the fuck you mean by that?
we live on the fucking the sawdust that fell after the trees were fucking cut down. That's our ground. We
Yep,
don't live on the ground. We
yep,
don't live on the true ground.
yep. We're definitely in high
So this
elevation for
go into
sure.
your
Yep.
mud flood shit by a lot of shit covered up.
Exactly.
So is it mud flood or is it fucking sawdust every goddamn morning?
Nah, so this is now we're talking sawdust. We talking about the shit was cut down and we live on top of the dirt that was cut down and shit. We're not on the ground. What we call the ground is not the ground.
So you know with all this shit you saying, you gotta go into who cut that down in this show.
I don't know who cut it down. I can only show you what happened.
Give
I
me
don't know who
speculation,
did it.
nigga. Give me
It's
speculation.
speculation. I don't. That's my
Big
brand is
ass
not
giant.
speculatory.
Nah,
My
nah,
brand is not
nah, nigga.
speculatory. Anybody that's been
I
around
done
me know
heard you
I don't
talk for
speculate
a
like that.
long time. I can't remember verbatim what that fucking saying is you say. So you talk about when you speaking in matter of facts and then when you speaking in speculation or your opinion. Give me your opinion, nigga.
We'll talk about it later. So I mean, my man AJ been dropping some. He been dropping Bible verses in the chat. God damn it. So yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
All right,
I
what we
still got
doing?
a question about Devil's Tower.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to think like if that's a fungus, right, and it's petrified, like
Hmm.
how long do you think would it take to petrify like that particular piece of fungus? Like it was it 1,000 years, or or was it something that happened overnight? Because a fungus like that, I can only imagine it would take a very, very long time. Whereas like a fungus on a tree, if it dies, it's not going to stand straight up like that anymore.
Right,
So how long would it take for like the petrification process? It
right.
seems like it would have to be like a lot like. it would have to be a lot shorter to catch the fungus sitting upright like that. You understand what I'm saying?
So right, no, I get you. So when we look at when we look at this situation overall, when we talk about this topic, we see some things. We see what looks to be living beings that were frozen, like in their tracks. Like if we get into like the giants and shit like that, the giant statues, it looks like a bunch of living beings was caught off guard with like
You
some
know
sort
what's
of
funny about that?
yeah.
Um, what's funny about that? Like when I think about like the um like say like when you see mountains that are shaped like say giants like laying down and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It keeps reminding me of I don't know if everyone's seen the movie Transformers, Age of Extinction. At the beginning of the movie, when they dropped the bomb, everything changed to metal, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess in their eyes, that's like they petrified everything that was there, and then they turned it into the metal that's used to create the Transformers.
Right. No, I get you.
You know, so that process was just like real quick, like it happened just like that. So I'm wondering if that's what happened. You know, if it was some type of process that happened like that when they created this place. You understand?
Well, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It actually doesn't take that long to petrify anything organic. It doesn't really take those millions and millions of years that science tries to tell us. It's actually short. And then, of course, you have to realize too that back then, you know, these things existed in a different type of environment. The atmosphere was probably much denser. You know, you had higher levels of different gases that would have probably induced like the growth speed of organic materials. So think of that. The whole environment back then probably was much different than what we experience today.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm
when
gonna
you
take a
take
note
that
of that.
million, my bad, go ahead.
No, you good, Marty. Go ahead.
I feel like when you take that millions of years shit off of it, you can open your mind and look at this shit a lot differently. Cause
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
necessarily think the million year. I don't know if I agree with that.
yeah. I
And
don't
that's
agree with
my
that either.
whole thing. That's my whole thing about the petrification process. It's like we've been taught that it happened over like so many years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, whatever. But it seems like the process was so much shorter because when you look at Devil's Tower, the fungus is pretty. It's like the fungus was alive when it got petrified. Like it's still sitting straight up. Like it's not even leaning over or anything. You know.
So correct me if I'm wrong, cause I don't know. The petrification process, it means like to do that, you gotta be void of oxygen, right? Or does it involve water at any point?
It does involve water. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, if that shit was underwater or whatever, they say if they telling us, oh, it laid out in the sun in the open air and shit, so it took millions of years, that could be the bullshit. But if truly to petrify some shit, it's underwater, no oxygen or something like that. Who knows how long that takes? Maybe it don't take that long. You know what I'm saying? 30 years, 100 years. That's not long. 100 years not long. 100 years.
So that could be a clue to like what happened because we're talking about the um, civilization's records of mud floods and actually water flooding. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
maybe that's a
yeah. When
clue
you take
to that.
the account of the Great Deluge, right? Of
Right.
with Linnell saying that we've never been on the ground. That makes sense, right? If you consider the Great Deluge with the water being um, coming from the fountains of the deep, and then the rain, and then the water receding. But you can see that we're definitely in higher ground. If you look at some maps where you got some islands, they appear to be the top of like organic material or mountain tops, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can kind of tell that where we're living now, on average, we're definitely on higher ground than back then. Makes sense too, though, because giant trees require ground. and it's definitely an extreme height too. It requires big area. So it makes sense that the ground is much lower than what
Yeah,
we see.
what's funny about these mesas is that you don't even see the bottom of it. Like, when a
Right.
tree is planting its roots in the ground, you don't even see the bottom part where it spreads out. So that's not even
Right.
the bottom of the tree.
Hey, and to what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
Corey, with what Corey just said, what makes a lot more sense with us not being on the extra ground is sinkholes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right. So, um, now the next logical question, if I'm up here telling you, hey man, look, the Earth at one point in time, uh, it had all these trees, and these trees was fucking miles high, and it was a bunch of them. So it's not. So we ain't just talking about one fucking tree. We talking about a bunch of fucking trees, right? And they were cut down. Okay. So the next logical step is even when you got these big ass trees, you see these big ass stumps. If they were cut down, then shouldn't they be laying around, right? Some fucking where. Hold on, it's one. Where's this one at? it's it's one that I wanted to um look at. Where is it at? Because this is important. Um, yeah, don't tell me I moved it. I think I moved the wrong the wrong picture. Oh, what did I move it to? Hold on. What did I move it to? Hold on. There's a couple pictures that I think are important to understand kind of context. And it's actually my favorite type of picture. Don't tell me I didn't upload it. No, I didn't put it. Where did I put it? Where the frick did I put it? Hold on. Don't tell me I didn't get it. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Oh, here it goes. So it's this one and so these two. All right, here, let me put these up in here. This one and this one. Yeah, they should have been right there. That's why. Okay. So I think these are important because it kind of puts in context where we are and how we live in. Um, which one? This is in the trees. Move. Uh-huh. Where'd it go? They in here somewhere.
Insta clicks from me.
Oh, shush. Hey, man, I told you I'm taking I'm taking donations for the Quiet Click 3000. All right, here, go in. Look
Nigga,
at
we about 2 years into them donations.
still ain't got it yet. It's like the building fund for the pastor.
Swear
All
to
right,
God.
look at 3739. Go 3739. Right, and so when I drive like down south, especially when I'm driving through Tennessee and Kentucky, I see this. So this picture, because I've seen it in real life, this gives me perspective. When y'all driving through Tennessee, because I'll take like what's that, 75 down, dude. When y'all are driving, like you see the remnants of these fucking trees. That's a tree. That's the inside of a tree right there. You're driving through a
I think
tree
Missouri got that
branch,
shit too.
huh?
I think Missouri got that type
Missouri,
shit.
yeah, Missouri got it. Yes, Missouri got it. I've seen it in Missouri as well. 3740 is the same thing, right? So when you driving past this shit right here, my nigga, you're driving past the inside of a tree. Where we live on the remnants of old trees. We drive through these shits every day. We make highways through old trees, through the branches of old trees that didn't get fucking cut down.
Hey, so check me out. What the fuck is dirt?
Dirt is
Yeah,
the
cause like, cause like how
mhm.
you look at that, you can tell like it's some kind of sediment or dirt or whatever the fuck in between that, right there, the fuck. What the fuck is dirt? Where dirt come from? And not only where dirt come from, if we living on top of some shit, is there dirt at the bottom? Like, what is dirt?
I think dirt comes from like all the leaves and shit that be dying, like all that shit that
So,
degrades and
so if
corrodes.
I'm a nigga,
It's all the minerals.
I'm a nigga who believes
Hmm?
in conspiracy, so I can follow you on this shit, right? But from what you just said, if I'm naive to all of this shit, you telling me ain't no fucking dirt.
No, stuff turns to dirt.
Right.
Ashes
So
to ashes,
if
dust to
stuff
dust. Yeah,
if
stuff
stuff
turns to dirt.
turns to dirt,
Dirt ain't just dirt inherently. It had to come from
what
something,
came first, the chicken or the egg? Basically, is what I'm saying. Like,
right? So
what's
it's
the original dirt? Is there original dirt, or everything we stepping on is broke down leaves and shit? What you telling me?
hey
Like, what the
hey
fuck is dirt?
bro. Have you ever seen hydroponics?
Yes.
So you know trees can grow in water.
Right. See, now you making it sound good to me, nigga. Dress it up and make it real for me. God damn it.
So if you get the first tree of life planted and rooted in water, and then everything after that, goddamn it, just started piling up on the water. Boom, there you go. Hold on, hold on. But yeah.
Hey,
So
see, and that tied back to what Miss Melody was saying earlier. You gotta dress that shit up, bro, because you just saying shit, and it's like I'm following you because I fuck with you, and I fuck with conspiracy. But if I'm just a layman to this shit, nigga, this nigga crazy. But now you saying that with the water and the hydroponics shit, I was like, okay,
yo,
scientific sense. You know what I'm saying?
no, I get you. All right. Where we at? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I wanted
Wait,
y'all to see the cars
where
driving
you put
through.
these other trees at? You put them on the Google Drive or
No, I put them back in. Yeah, they're in the Google Drive. 37. They 3740. I think that's what it was. No, it's 30, yeah, 3740 or some shit.
like you're updating it as we
Yeah.
speak?
Yeah, I updated it. 3740 and 3745, I believe.
Okay, look at
But
you
3739 and 3740.
out here.
Doing it live.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so I like you get to see that we live in this shit. We live amongst it's not just somewhere where we don't be at. Like if you driving down 75, you will see this. I've seen it. Right? Coming 90, I've seen it. You see this shit all the time. Okay. All right, let's go to what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need a link. Okay. So access to anyone. Got it. So for this. Now, I'm showing y'all tree stumps. Y'all like, yo, it's all these fucking tree stumps. Where the fuck are the trees? What Robin Harris say? Well, where the fuck is Baby? Let's talk about where Baby went. So the trees didn't just get cut down, right? And left there to rot. Okay. The trees didn't just get cut down and cut there and left there to rot. So here we go here. I just put up a new link. We can open up at the beginning. Okay. 30, which is 3768. All right, open up at 3768. What do you see there? what you would call a very large mountain. Okay, very large mountain. All right, and the question is, well, how the fuck did this get here? Right? So we was talking about trees. What's this mountain doing here? All right. So we go to the next one, another mountain. So notice the composition of this mountain. Right? Notice what they look like. Right? Nice and smooth.
And they all slope too. Yeah, slope.
Nice and slow, smooth. And the question is, yo, how do you get this? How do you get this shape? Right? Then we go to 3770. Go to the next one. And we see the same shape. Okay? Same shape at 3770. Go 3771. All right. And what do we see? A juxtaposition between, a mountain and a pile of dirt. This is what dirt looks like when you pile it up naturally. When you start dumping dirt on the ground, this is the natural shape. Conical. Right? You know what? What's it? 3772. Go past that. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that. So 3773, what we come across? Excavators. So when we look at the earth, when we take a step back and we actually look at the earth, oh shoot, I'm sorry. I went past something. There's something I actually want to talk about. Damn it. Because this is important. We missed. Did we miss something? I feel like we missed it. That's the clicking for me. Oh, go back to. Yeah, I'm gonna put this one back up. Well, you know what? We'll come back to it. No worries. We'll come back to it. Stay where y'all at. Stay where y'all at. We'll come back to it. So, essentially, um, when the trees were cut down, they weren't cut down and left there. They were cut down and chopped up. Right? They were cut down and chopped up. Right? And from what we can tell, what it appears to have happened is that the earth underwent a large scale mining of the surface. There was a large scale mining of the surface of the earth, which is why we don't see whole branches and shit intact for real, for real. Somebody came and mined out the earth. Right? If you fuck with the Anunnaki story, then you think, oh, they came in, they was mining for gold. That's part of the Anunnaki story. A lot of people fuck with the Anunnaki story. It was like, oh shit, they was mining for gold. Just the Anunnaki shit. Maybe. All right. But what we can see, so we go through, let's see, 3774 is mining equipment. So go to 3776, and you can see what it looks like when mining equipment is present and how they mine shit. So you see those kind of those slopes that's left after the equipment comes through. All right. So now we go to 3778, and this looks like what was left after the machine on 3774. So if you look at 3774, then look at 3778. That looks like the same thing. They call this the wavy hills or some shit like that. The wavy mountain or something. Or wave rock, I think is what it's called. Wave rock. But in real life, it just looks like a machine came through and hollowed that bitch out. All right. So if you look at 3779, that's a quarry we made. So that's a man-made quarry. So it's 3780. That's another man-made quarry. All right. Now look at these here on 3781. All right. They have you believe, oh, this is natural. This happened naturally. All right. This is some natural shit right here. Then go to 3782. This is in Antarctica. What it look like happened in Antarctica? These are mountains in Antarctica. What it look like happened here? See the waves and the rocks on mountains in Antarctica, right? Somebody came digging up in that shit. So it's not just, oh, it was trees here. It was, oh, somebody came through, cut down the trees, and fucking excavated the earth. Somebody came, cut down the trees, and excavated the earth. You know what I mean? Let's see. So you go to 3783, more of the same. All right.
Do you think much of what they've excavated is now underwater, or what? What do you think?
Much of what,
Like whatever the
so
excavate or mine.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The answer is yes. Right. And so that goes back to the map that I had there earlier, the Ring of Fire map, where so when we was talking about what causes a volcano, it's when you get all of this geologic material, you pile it up and you leave it there for a long time. Inside of the pile, right, you get the chemical reactions, endothermic reactions. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter, right? The pressure builds up, and then it finally explodes through. And so, in that map, what was that at? If you go back to what's that, 3772, you see the Ring of Fire is where all these volcanoes are, but it's off the coast, right? It's off the coast of the Americas and Asia, right? Off the coast of the Americas and Asia, right? And so, but it's underwater. All them volcanoes is underwater, which means that when they were created, the water wasn't there. You know what I mean? So that means that the water wasn't here. They were excavating underneath it, and that's why you get the trench. Remember what's at the bottom of this shit? The Marianas Trench with a line of volcanoes next to it. So that means they were digging up underneath there, piling up the dirt, creating these future volcanoes, getting what they wanted to get, and then getting up out of there. And so, and then they flooded the area, but that didn't stop the volcanoes from building up pressure and heat, and they explode all the time. That's why it's called the Ring of Fire, because you got all these underwater volcanoes always freaking exploding.
So you're kind of saying, like, in the beginning when you started talking about when you're piling up different like different types of biological materials,
Hmm.
it heats up.
Yeah, it's an
Is that kind
endothermic
of
reaction. Yeah,
so that's kind of what you're saying is happening with the volcanoes and all of
yeah.
that. Got it.
Exactly. They explode because of the pressure built up because of the fucking chemical reactions up in them due to there's no oxygen down, there's no way to aerate the shit, and so it's just a fucking chemical reaction going on down there.
So,
Wouldn't it have cooled
are,
off or something by now?
It's inside the volcano. How's it gonna cool off?
Wait, like if all of this stuff is has been like dug out and piled up into like a mound, and something inside of that mound is what's erupting, like the
Mm-hmm.
volcano.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't it have cooled off by
What
now?
the
Or like, is it
inside?
gonna?
How would the inside cool off? Remember, when it explodes, it pushes shit out. Not the water don't go in, right? It may go in for a little bit, but then it closes back up, and it's still chemicals and shit up in there that are
Okay,
reacting.
okay, I guess, yeah.
You know what I mean?
so my question is basically to what Miss Christina was saying. You saying they dug out the Mariana Trench, blah, 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 blah. But if they drowned it in water,
Mm-hmm.
and no, if I'm thinking sawdust or I'm thinking excavation and it's a big pile of whatever the fuck, if enough water is gonna saturate all of that. So you telling me was it a seal or some kind of shit? Like how did the water
Wasn't
how
enough
did
to
water
get
saturate?
through.
Okay.
It
The
wasn't enough to
Pacific
get
Ocean.
through.
It wasn't
And the
enough
thing is,
to
so the thing is, you don't know how long after that shit got petrified, or like how long between the pile and the water. Get what I'm saying?
so like the seal shit. It could have been long enough with the water
Yeah,
being there that it sealed with
yeah,
rain or
yeah. The
whatever
water
the
took it.
fuck made
Yep.
a hard cut. All right, I give you that.
Yeah.
Dress it up and make it real for me.
Hey, yo, that's funny. All right, so yeah, that's
Been
where the
covering a
whole
pimple.
ring of fire come from, right? Um, let's see. All right, what was we at? Oh no, I lost my spot. Okay, so now we go back to 3784. We see more what looks like um, the same thing, except for some sort of it was covered in some sort of dust and dirt, and it was allowed to grow. Right, grass was allowed to grow, so it covered it up, so you really can't tell what's right there. All right, 3785, same thing. You can still see the marks and shit.
It's like a weird crop circle type of marking.
Mm-hmm. But 3787, same thing. You take one of them, take the machine I just showed you, and you run it along the wall, right? Excavating that shit out. 3788, same thing. It's a big mining operation. Came through with the machines and mined that shit out, scooping that shit the fuck up out. You know what I mean? Um, so one of the questions that I had, I was like, yo, what the fuck were they mining for? That was always my big thing. Like, yo, what the fuck were they mining for? Like I said, if you're huge on the Anunnaki story, they talk about how they came down to mine for gold, right? But my thing was, ain't no gold in no trees. What the fuck you? Why you gotta cut the trees down? Fuck you. If you mine for gold, what they got to do with cutting down trees? I mean, um, yeah, I never bought the mining for gold thing. Oh, real quick, I'm gonna show y'all something. So this is what I forgot to show y'all on the last one. Because I see this all the time when I'm flying. I don't know if you guys ever see this when y'all flying, but I see this all the time when I'm flying. Where is it at? Oh no. And you know what? When I was in the air the other day, I meant to take a freaking picture of it. Hold on. It's got a name. Where's it at? Oh, here it goes. Yeah, here it goes. So I see this shit all the time. Let me get y'all a link right quick. All right, I'm gonna switch the link. So, all right, so check out that link and go to leaves. See what I say? Leaves, leaves two. Oh yeah, leaves. Yeah, leaves. So when I'm flying, I look down, and it looks like, and you can see these geometric patterns as you fly out west. So when I'm flying, like from Chicago out west, and I look down, I always see these patterns covered in either snow or dirt or some shit like that. I always see these patterns. So all
What
them
am I looking at?
leaves
It's a new
patterns,
link.
huh?
It's a new link at the top, or you put it in chat.
No, at the top. I changed the link at the top.
All right.
I always see these patterns. Next time y'all fly, if you flying from the west coast of America
Nigga, you
back
ain't changed
east,
that goddamn link. What number am I looking at?
I didn't. Hold on. Let me see.
He went back to the first group.
Yeah, I went back to the first link, to the first to the trees group. Went back to the trees one. So if you like when y'all flying out west,
Bro, I still see the same shit from before. Is it a number that I'm looking at or what?
look at the leaves. It say leaves. The title of the picture is leaves. You get, like I say, a bunch of geometric like dirt mounds that look like covered up leaves. All right. So next time y'all flying from the west coast, check them out. All right. Um. So I want to get to what I think they were mining for. Right.
I
Um.
ain't with you on the leaves. I will get that one to erosion. I can say erosion causes that.
Hey, bro. My only regret right now, and I meant to do it, was that I didn't take a picture.
Okay, I give you
So
that, but from what I'm seeing,
I
I
flew
can see
back.
erosion.
I flew back. So I flew to LA during the daytime, and I had a window seat. I have no excuse for not taking a fucking picture. None. Um. Yeah, I have no excuse for not taking a picture. I should have took pictures. All right. Let me see. So, like I said, most people, like all my Anunnaki people, think you can't see the link either. Well, hold on. Let me see. The last one. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Oh no.
So that the earth is round. Who said that dumbass shit?
Probably
Come on stage
Great
and tell
Poseidon.
me that it
Great,
was.
Great
Bring your ass
Poseidon
on
is saying
stage.
that
Hold
shit,
on.
bro.
Bring your ass on stage and tell me airplane that you
No,
see the earth being round.
leave
Chill
Great
out.
Poseidon alone. Hey, Meaty, can you see it now? Can you see it now? Look at um. Let me see. It says so right under Jagurtha. It shows leave. It says it's a title of a picture called Leaves. You see it
You
under
gotta
the
scroll down a little bit. It's down there.
under the Jagurtha. It's a picture called Leaves. You see it, homie? All right. Let's see. All right. All right. Cool. Had to relaunch my browser. All right. Cool. All right. So, like I said, if you follow the Anunnaki story, then you think that, oh, the Anunnaki came here, they were mining for gold. Myself never really bought it, right? I heard people and I'd be like, something about they needed gold to fix their ship or some shit like that. I'm like, I don't know about that. Fuck you cutting down all these goddamn mile high fucking trees for gold. That don't make no goddamn sense to me. Now, what does make sense to me is something that we use today. Okay? There was a substance available that I can see them cutting down mountains for. I mean, cutting down trees for. Okay? Um, Here, check out the link. Petrified trees that are silica based give you crystals. All right? So imagine the crystals that you could get. Y'all can just scroll through these pictures. Imagine the crystals that you could get out of these giant ass fucking trees. Right? Imagine how big, how much crystal you can get. Yeah, Kima, you imagine a quartz. So even right now today they're talking about how quartz they can use it to store information like from computers. Like we don't really talk about in the mainstream the power of crystals and their true usage. We don't really talk about that shit, right? But crystals are powerful. They're in watches, they're in computers, like they're in all the electronics that we use. You know what I mean? So imagine these big ass trees, right? We said applying pressure to quartz is piezoelectric power. True.
Nice photos.
You said what?
I said nice photos.
I know, right?
No, the response is thank you.
Oh, one day. So yeah.
How
You
about
know
Um,
this
today?
is
How about
uncultured
fucking
swine.
today, Linnell? Yay.
you know what? Jamila, all right, so check this out. I can only please one person a day.
Uncultured swine. That nigga started with check
And
this out and
and
what you
I've
said.
already reached my limit today. All right. And tomorrow is already taken. So,
Wow.
you know, it's all right.
That's okay. I'm okay because you taught us how to step, so I'm cool with that.
Hey, yo. All right. So, um,
Y'all ain't putting the R. Kelly on though.
again, don't worry about all that. So,
I would have I
um,
would have woke up to the candles.
we're talking about crystals. Okay. So, crystals is like, to me, that's what you would cut down all these goddamn trees for. That's worth excavating a
That's
whole fucking planet. All
But
right.
crystals to
What
do
picture
what
am I looking
with?
at?
What would be the point? What would they do? What are they doing with it?
Did you not
It's
hear
not
what
like
I
they
said
built a
about
whole
the?
Emerald City.
Hey, yo, that's funny.
What
Um,
picture am I looking at, Linnell?
you can just scroll through those, right? So that's crystals inside of petrified wood.
That's the name of it.
Now look at the link up top.
Oh, it's a new link. All right, my bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Kima, don't be in there with all them damn exclamation points. Come on now.
All right.
Calm down.
So quartz crystals are used in electronic devices like watches, computers to regulate frequencies and signals. Crystals are used to study the atomic structure of materials using X-ray diffraction techniques. Um, like when I tell you, they're using crystals. Like I said, they developed a crystal that hold that like for like computers that hold more storage, more information than anything they got. Like
Hey,
we
Linnell.
don't know, like we don't know what crystals are really used for. They don't tell us about that shit.
So can you tie this into any of that energy shit? Nikola Tesla, the Egyptians, can you tie that in?
Yes.
It's all related, brother. It's all related. So check this out. Researchers at the University of Chicago have achieved a groundbreaking milestone, storing terabytes of digital data within a crystal cube just 1 millimeter in size.
So these niggas had internet in Egypt, is what you're telling me.
So this ain't got nothing to do
Yes.
with Egypt. This is about goddamn. Remember, this is before all of that.
How many terabytes you said?
It was. What I just had it. Oh no.
Gentlemen,
Um.
and before all of this, it was Nene's birthday. Did we say happy
Mhm.
birthday to Caliente?
Happy birthday,
Goddamn.
Lusty.
Shout out to
Let's see.
Lusty on the birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Uh,
Yeah.
birthday.
it just said terabytes. It just said multiple terabytes.
Okay, multiple terabytes.
Yeah, it said multiple
Ether
terabytes.
in the chat says harvesting free energy from the ether with crystalline structures. So maybe that's what.
Bruh.
Wait, you said
It
they
can
did
be
what
used
with
for a
silicone?
number of things,
They did
Right.
what
right?
was the thing you said about silicone, Linnell?
It says silica based. So that's what the trees are, silica
Silica
based.
based. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, chiming in real quick. Yeah, so crystals, when you zoom in on the molecular structure, they have the most complex and symmetrical structure. Like when you zoom in, right, and the shape that the molecules of crystals, what they make, represents the whole crystal, how they grow. For instance, if you Google bismuth mineral, it's square. It grows like a square, cubes, almost like pyrite. Actually, pyrite's a better example. You zoom in on the pyrite, and you see that the molecules line up in squares, right? Perfect squares. And also, just something anecdotal. When I was at the Art Institute of Atlanta, had we had an exam in art history, and it was a lot to remember. A lot of different slides. You had to remember a whole bunch of info. So what I actually did, right? I took some quartz. It was over 10 years ago. Took some quartz and I studied with that, clutching that quartz in my left hand. No bullshit. Studied. I didn't do anything extra like meditate, nothing like that. Just studied, clutching it in my left hand. So when it came time for the test, and I got stuck on certain dates and names, spellings, I had it in my pocket, clutched it in my right hand. This is off the advice of a friend. And sure enough, all of these details just came to me without me having to stress and think about it. Everything just came right to me. So yeah, you can store memory in them, your own memory. And then on top of that, I think that they can be used in like ancient cell phones, right? One crystal broken in half, two people have it, long distance, at depths, and they can communicate to each other. Lastly, the Lemurian quartz crystal, you can look that up. It is said that when the island of Mu sunk, that civilization put all of their civilization's memories, charged all of the crystals, Lemurian quartz crystals, into those. And so the civilization, as legend goes, is sunk in the Pacific. But you can still buy a lot of Lemurian quartz crystals. They usually are sourced from Brazil, the best ones. And yeah, you could test it out yourself, meditate, clutch it, and see what comes to you. Back to you.
So what you saying is everybody could have been straight A students with the help of
Yes, yeah,
crystals.
no BS. I would say
Mm.
anybody want to try it, just go get a clear quartz crystal. They call it. It's also known as the mother stone. It could do a whole lot, but yeah, study with that.
Fuck that
Left,
white man
left,
school.
left to
What you
absorb, right
saying?
to recover. Yeah, what's up?
Fuck that white man school. What you saying is I can go pick up one of these quartz crystals. I got some, you know what I'm saying? Go get that bitch from some selective area and I'm picking up an SD card. You know what I'm saying? I can get downloads or whatever the hell from shit that happened way back, way back, way back. That what you saying?
I believe that. Right, can't
All
be
right.
scientific, but I personally, I
All
just
right.
like I told you that
I'm
story
rocking with you.
studying. Yo,
Oh
y'all try it
shit.
out. Try it out. Try it.
I'm going to definitely try it out because I have a whole bunch of crystals that I dug up from a mine. Gonna try that out.
So now you finna have me sourcing my quartz, my nigga. I ain't gonna just be buying this shit. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, definitely get a Lemurian quartz crystal. It's just they sell fakes, right? Because they just when it comes to those crystals, they have to have striations on the side, like grooves, to where if you hold, they're shaped like a stick, a point or a wand, they call it. If you on the side, it should be some horizontal lines. You can feel grooves, and that's how it naturally grows.
All right. So, um, that takes us back to the mountains. Okay. So you got these giant fucking trees. All right. These people or these entities come here, they cut down the trees and they start processing them to remove the crystals. Got me? So they want the crystals, so they cut down the trees, start processing them, and as they remove the crystal, they're dumping the leftover material back out onto the ground. And what happens when you just start dumping material onto the ground? What kind of shape does it make? Conical, right? And so we call them shits mountains. And so the things that we call mountains around here, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are the discarded waste of a mining operation. So as they cut down the trees, they had to cut down the trees, dismantle the branches, right? It was a lot of waste out of that, and they piled up all the waste all over the place, miles and miles high, and we call them shits mountains. Is mountains of dust and dirt and rocks. Is mountains of dust, dirt, and rocks. And depending on the material and when and how it was piled up, you could have an endothermic reaction on the inside of it, where it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. Pressure builds up. While the pressure is building up, it's getting hotter. The material inside is melting. It explodes, and you get a mountain. But it's all formed the same way. And so as we look around and we see piles of rocks and piles of dust that have petrified, that's what we call mountains. Okay. Now there's something else, excuse me, that we need to look at. All right. So anybody got any questions about that? Okay. Do we got any questions about mountains formed, giant trees, any of this shit? Before we move on, we're gonna move on to the next thing, but it's all related. We good? We all on one accord? I don't
Yeah.
want to lose nobody.
Keep cooking. Good stuff.
I don't want to lose nobody. Low key. This should be a Wednesday show, right? I'm doing way too much teaching. This should be a Wednesday show, even though it's just show and tell, but it's all right. Okay.
Nigga, what's the difference between Wednesday and Friday? And it's all
So
conspiracy.
Wednesdays be more educational. Like this feels like an educational show.
So what's Friday?
Ain't no
Friday is
goddamn
more topical,
difference.
right?
Friday's more what?
Topical, more topical, more loose. I try to keep it more loose and shit, but I don't know. We doing some
Nigga,
shit
don't
today.
don't dumb down my conspiracy, nigga, just cause it's the weekend.
I
Fuck these
I know,
puppy
right?
lip ass niggas. Teach me.
Hey yo, all right, yo, is everybody with me? Let me see. Put a T in the chat, or put a volcano in the chat if you with me. Do they got volcano emojis? Let me look. Is there a volcano emoji up in this
Put
bitch?
a volcano in the chat.
Absolutely.
Put a volcano in the chat if you're with me. Let me see who with me right
Lava.
now.
It,
They got lava. I'll take lava. I'll take
y'all
volcano. Whatever
stupid.
you got.
Y'all just be doing anything.
What? What you talking about?
There you go, Mitty
I'm with it.
Mitty. Do whatever you fucking want. Put anything you want in there.
Nah, put the lava in there. Put the volcano. What are you
Fuck
talking about?
that.
I'm up here. I earned
Y'all just be doing anything that's crazy.
red. All right. Oh
Let
yeah.
me
All
put
right.
a
I see
tree. Let
people
me
with
put a
me.
tree in this joint.
Look,
Matter of fact, I ain't putting shit in
you
this
just
joint.
hate.
I'm here,
You
nigga.
But
just hate.
I can't find this volcano shit that these niggas posted. But what they said,
There you
goddamn
go. See,
Hey,
Diamond,
I know, right?
Diamond is on my lane.
Diamond a hating ass nigga.
Diamond is
She in
on my
Pennsylvania too.
lane.
Diamond's in Pennsylvania
We
too. She's hating.
we are in the
All right.
same wave. Yes, let's go.
All right. Coco Boo. Good job, Coco Boo. I'm proud of you. Coco Boo, what did you have for dinner the last 2 days? Put it in the chat. I need to know what you had for dinner the last 2 days. Uh-huh. Come say something. Let me hear your nigga explain it.
I'm driving, so I'm trying not to type as much. I had lamb tonight. I'm leaving the bar. I had lamb kebabs. Yesterday I had a salad.
A salad?
A salad. I
What
wasn't that
what I
hungry.
tell you about them goddamn salads? Didn't I say throw them shits in the garbage? Red meat, Coco. But you know what?
Listen, I
Niggas
did
is hard
red
headed.
meat today. I had lamb.
Every day. I told you every day for the next 3 weeks. Red meat.
Now he clapping.
Man,
I
dude, you
know,
hit me
right?
over
Mad attitude. Mad attitude. Okay, Mr.
Bruh.
Attitude.
Spicy.
Bruh, dude.
How'd you cook your lamb?
She
I just
bought it.
left a restaurant. It was a lamb kebab.
Yeah, I could have told you she bought it. I felt it in her spirit. Anyway.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to get home safe and sound, and I
All
have bills to
right.
pay. I'm trying. I'm just listening.
All right. All right, y'all. We back. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done got me out. Dude, I tell you, try to motherfucking help a nigga. Oh, I swear to God. All right, let me see. So we're gonna switch speeds right quick. So we're gonna stay on the same road, but we switching speeds. Okay? So we just got done talking about these giant ass fucking trees that were here. They got cut down, and the trees were processed, and the land was excavated. And the waste product of that excavation is what you guys, those conical shapes that you guys see around the country that you call fucking mountains, right? And rocks. And how even right now today, you can see the trees, the branches of the trees that didn't get fucking processed just laying out, and we live on them. We live on the remnants of cut down trees. We call that our ground. You have never seen the ground, okay? There are no such things as rocks. It's all ex biology that's been petrified, okay?
Wait, speaking of rocks, what about your crack? No, never mind. It's not the time.
You know what? I forgot to tell y'all. He didn't come. Well, he came through, but he didn't bring his girlfriend, so I didn't have to suffer that heartache. So all good. The sanctity of my shower is still intact.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
I meant to tell y'all that in the beginning, but we got off on another track. All right. So now let's go to. I'm gonna throw up another. I'll throw up another link for y'all. Let's get into. And so you know what I'm gonna do. While you guys look through this, because we're going to talk about the destruction of the old world. Okay? We're going to talk about the destruction of the old world. And so while you guys look at these, so I'm gonna put this up, and while y'all look at these, I'm gonna play a clip for y'all. Okay? So here, boom. I think I just changed it. So while y'all can look through those, um, uh, look through those pictures. All right, I'm going to play a clip for you guys.
Check this out. The Americas is Grenada, Israel, the Promised Land. All of these are biblical place names in Utah, including Jerusalem. Utah's nickname is the Beehive State. There is a mountain in eastern Nevada named Mount Moriah, and it is over 12,000 feet high. In Utah, not only is there a river Jordan, but it runs out of a freshwater lake into the Great Salt Lake, which is remarkably like the Dead Sea. There is also a Mount Nebo in Utah, approximately 12,000 feet high. So yes, with evidence this strong, the real Judah was in Utah. People try to say that it was the Mormons that gave these places like Utah biblical names to support their position as Jews. However, this explanation fails miserably because there are no 12,000 feet high mountains in modern day Israel. Therefore, the real Judah or Israel had to be in Utah because it fits the description of the kingdom of Judah perfectly. The name Utah is derived from the name of the Ute tribe. It means the people of the mountains in the Ute language. According to other sources, Utah is derived from the Apache name Yuda, which means tall. In the so-called Spanish language, it was said as Utah. Subsequently, the English-speaking people adapted the word Utah. There is no J in Hebrew, therefore Judah is Yuda, especially when you consider the fact that the J and Y have the same meaning and numerical value and are interchangeable as a result. Manasseh, Mount Nebo, Mount Pisgah, Jericho, South Galilee, Ephraim, Daniel, Nephi, Moab, Eden, Goshen, Jordan. Come on, man. Part 2 coming soon.
All right. So in the file I gave you guys, it was essentially a bunch of pictures of melted structures, right? And so the thing is, the melting can happen in different ways. When I say melting, it doesn't have to be fire per se. All right. So we did a whole discussion about direct energy weapons. Okay. We did a whole discussion about direct energy weapons. And so you can use direct energy weapons to destroy certain types of material. Okay. And so when you see a lot of the pictures here, all right, let's see, let's go through some of these. So you can look at, what's this, 1482, where you can see where most people would say, oh, they carved a dwelling into a mountain, and not understand that that's not a fucking mountain. Because I told you how mountains were made, right? That was a built structure, and what you see left is the only part that didn't get hit with the weapon. Okay? Same thing if you go to 1483. The entire thing was a home, was a castle, and what's left didn't get hit with the weapon. In 1484, looks like the whole thing got hit with the weapon. 1485, looks like total destruction, but you can still see kind of the structure of it. So in 1486, it looks like the weapon came from the backside and something prevented it from destroying that part right there. All right. What the hell is this? Oh, that shouldn't even be up in there. 1488, go to 1488. You can see where this thing looks like it was melting, right? It got hit with something and is melting, but there was no total destruction. Okay. 1489 looked like some sort of heat weapon, or at least the weapon that they were using had a different effect on that one. 1490 Dude, you would look at this and just think, oh, look at that's a mountain. No, that's not a mountain. That's a construction. And it was hit with some sort of direct energy weapon that turned it into dust. So if you make something like this with, let's say, the construction material was some sort of clay, right, mixed with water, and then you come through with a laser, some sort of microwave that evaporates the water, it would turn the structure into essentially powder, and you would get that kind of effect right there. Okay, and so this isn't even technology that we don't have currently. Get me? Let's go 1493. Looks like whatever the material was actually was charring and catching fire. 1494, the entire thing was deformed except for that little pocket right there. Same thing in 1496. Everything destroyed except for the little pockets you see. The bridge stayed intact. They didn't hit the bridge with the weapon, right? But the pillars were deformed, were destroyed. All the foundational shit was destroyed. Okay. Look at 1498. So all of that stuff on the side where it looks like, oh, somebody built, built this on the top of a mountain. No, it wasn't a mountain here. It wasn't a pile here. That stuff ran down, right? There was something else here. That dirt you see, that dust you see that's new there because it's falling on the rest of the goddamn castle. 1767, right? They destroyed the bottom part, the foundation. It looks like it's just this. Oh, somebody built this into a mountain. No. Same thing with 1790. That this wasn't carved into a mountain. All of this was part of the building. It's just that the rest of it was destroyed. Okay. Which one is this one? Can't make out which one that one was. Same thing for 2097. Okay. Also with 2233, you can see what it was, right? You can see what it was, and then when they came through and they hit it with the weapon, it wiped it out. All right, so it lost its definition, lost its functionality, and it just looks like, oh, some pillars or something and made of rock. I don't know what that is. Right? Nope, it got hit with a weapon. It wasn't that. It was something else. I think 2234 is a really good one because you can see like the entire structure, and you can see how it's drooping and turning to dust and sand. Right? Which, if you look in the background, all of that, all it happened to all of it. Happened to all of it. Right? So, whenever I have this conversation, depending on who I'm having it with, I get similar stories. So I was talking to some of the some of the Muslim homies, right? So the flat earthers come through. We got some Muslim flat earthers, and we were talking about I got to talking about mud floods, and I think I was talking about melted buildings and shit. And he was like, "What?" And I started talking to him about melted buildings, about the shit I'm showing y'all right now. And he says, "Yo, you know what? In the Quran, it talks about how Allah destroyed all the buildings." I said, "Huh? Wait, what? Allah destroyed all the buildings? Where the fuck was this at?" It was so I was what was it? I was getting ready to do this joint yesterday, and somebody said something similar. They were saying that in the Vedic tradition, there's stories about these weapons. So they're called the Astras, Astras, right? The Astras of Mahabharata. And so the Astras are these weapons that was used in the old times in these wars that they had. And so, in the clip I played you guys, where a dude was talking about how like the Bible occurred in Utah, I don't think he's talking about just Utah. I think it's the area. So, we were out in Arizona, and I saw melted buildings. Right? He's talking about Utah. I've seen pictures in Utah. I've driven through like North Dakota and Montana. I saw melted buildings. So it's the entire West Coast and Midwest where you can see melted buildings, like these old structures where people actually live, like in the Grand Canyon type area, down in Sedona. You can see these places that were, oh, these were fucking buildings, these were dwellings, right? So it wasn't just Utah that he's talking about. Like, if there are places like this all over the world, and they built the new cities, those cities we live in are built far away from those places because they're hiding what the fuck that shit really is. They don't want us to know that them shits were cities. Those were the first cities. So we're gonna look at some of them. All right. So here, let me let me tell you. So I'll tell you guys about some of the astras of the Mahabharata. All right. So these are astras used in war according to the Vedic tradition. So let me see. Narayanastra, as the name denotes, this astra belonged to Shri Hari Vishnu. It was a potent weapon that fired millions of deadly missiles. Resisting the weapon only made it more robust, increasing the intensity and number of missiles being showered. The only way to stop this weapon was to submit before its power. So these are weapons talked about in the Vedic tradition, where they're saying, yo, there was a big war on Earth, and in that war, there were these powerful weapons that were used. This goes contrary to any stories we get about the old world. All right. Let me see. Number 2, the Pashupastra, the personal weapon of Bhagwan Shiva and Maya Kali. This deadly astra had the potential to destroy the entire creation. Although Arjuna had obtained this astra after pleasing Mahadev through his penance, he did not use it for its obvious reasons. Number 3, the Maheshara astra. This what? Somebody say something? No. Let's see. Number 3, the Maheshwara Astra. This weapon contains the power of Bhagwan Mahadev's third eye. It could at once turn one's enemies into ashes. Bible, anyone? The only way to encounter this weapon was by using any other weapon of Bhagwan Shiva or that Shri Hari Vishnu. Number 4, the Brahmashira Astra. Y'all know I'm butchering these names, right? Was a weapon 4 times stronger than the Brahmastra. Use of the Astra would cause destruction. The area where the Astra was used would be rendered barren for 12 years. There would be no rain for 12 years either, besides the area becoming poisonous. Damn. Let's see. That's a couple of more, but I thought that was interesting. Let's see, the Brahmastra. Puranas say Brahmastra is the deadliest weapon in the annals of human history. The Astra never missed his mark and assured the destruction of individuals or armies against whom the Yoda used it. There was neither a way to counter nor defend one against the Brahmastra. So they got these stories of all these weapons, these super powerful weapons, right? And we are sitting here looking at evidence of some really powerful weapons and tools being used on Earth. I'm not saying there's something to it, but it's something to it, right? All right, so let's move on to those buildings. So let's look at, you know what? Let's look at, all right, you know what? Let's look at this first. Okay, so, all right, I just changed the link. So now we're in Sedona. Sedona, we went 2 years ago, right? So I'm going to start you guys at, let's see what to start at. Go to, so we're in Sedona. We're at Bell Rock. So if you start at 3489, right, that'll show you where we are. We're at Bell Rock. So this is one of the vortexes in Sedona. Okay. So remember, they tell you that this place was created through water erosion, is what they tell you. Water erosion. So there are a couple of things I want you guys to look at that are important that quickly destroy the narrative. The first one is to go to the picture called vertical lines. So in this picture, I drew two yellow arrows showing you where two separate large pieces came together. And you can see a straight vertical line showing where these two pieces were put together. And this straight vertical line ran up the entire side of the rock. Okay? Water erosion can't do this. Water erosion can't do vertical lines. All right? And then if you go to horizontal lines,
What number you said? Something
it's
89.
titled vertical lines. It's got a
Oh, okay.
title saying vertical lines. Okay? And then if you go to horizontal lines, the horizontal lines is the place where the layers come together, where the upper and lower layers come together. Okay? And every place where the layers come together, where they stack one layer on top of the other, it's coated over with some sort of chemical. And the way you can see that chemical is you see that dark, it's like a yellow strip, right? You see it right where them two yellow lines is. It's a yellow strip. And so whatever hit the structure, it discolored this adhesive. I think there's some sort of sealant or adhesive. It discolored it. And so you can literally see where the layers start. You can see how the layers are separated. And so the thing is built in layers. And so now if you go to the picture called horizontal layers, you'll see how that yellow discoloration runs literally horizontally along the length of the structure. And then right above that, you'll see another discoloration that runs along the length. And then above that, another one. And so it's like this throughout the whole structure. There are these horizontal layers where you can see how the structure was built. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the path. Where's it? Oh, it's a picture called The Path. Okay. So if you look at the path, this was built, it's the same building material as the structure, as Bell Rock. That's where we are. and you can see it's a walkway, and it's been destroyed. And so they make it seem like, oh, it's just kind of a beaten path, and it's just we don't know how this thing got here. It's just rocks on the ground. It just so happens to lead directly up to the fucking structure, right? And so if you look at, let's see, I should have one called Bricks in the Path. So it's a picture called Bricks in the Path, where I take a picture and you can see these are bricks. They're laid down, they're very symmetrical, they're bricks in the path. This is what the path is made of, these bricks. Okay. Here, go to uniform bricks. Oh, no, not uniform bricks. Hold on, I thought that was another one. Walkway bricks. Go to walkway bricks. It's the last one. Go to walkway bricks, and you can see, they're laid. You see these bricks at your house today. All right. Look at the walkway bricks. All right. Nice and uniform. Okay. Now let's look at bricks in the wall. I think this should be like a video. Okay. So you don't have to listen to it. But when you watch it, you can see how these are rectangular bricks that are placed in the wall. This is how you build a wall. Brick, 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 brick. They're on the same horizontal level. And you can see the separation of each brick. Okay. And so whatever happened to the structure where they tried to destroy, when the structure gets destroyed, a lot of it kind of melts into each other. And so it loses a lot of the definition of the bricks. However, it doesn't get everything. And in a lot of places you can see the individual bricks in construction. And so that's what I'm showing right here. You can see the uniformity in how the bricks were laid in there. Okay. Let's see. Anything else I want to show you guys? Let me look at my time. How am I doing on time? Oh, got a little bit of time. Okay. Got a little bit of time. I'm glad I started when I did, and I didn't really dally a bit. This is a lot. All right, let me see. Let's look at if you go to, let's say, joined pieces. All right, so I'm trying to show that the piece above my hand is separate than the piece below my hand, and the piece above was laid on top of the piece below. And in fact, it's not even one piece below. The piece below is two pieces together. You can see the little lines separating them. That's not one piece below it. So that's actually three pieces coming together. Okay. Let's see what else I got for y'all. If you look at, there's a video called Layers Come Together. Right? So you don't have to listen to the sound, because essentially me showing how the upper layer and the lower layer come together at that discoloration. That's what that is. And so when you look at at Bell Rock, you look at the rock, it's been deformed. This is not the original state of the rock. It was hit with the weapon. And I'm going to show you guys something in a minute. Okay, it was hit with the weapon. But if you look at this video, I walk down and you can see how the discoloration is the same, is uniform. And I think at one point I show above it, the layers above it, and you can see how not only this structure, but every structure in Sedona was built the exact same way. They all had the same construction. Every structure there had the same construction. They all had the faint lines and the separate. They were separated um, at the separation mark. Okay. Let me see. With these large pieces. If we go to, let me see. Uh, let's see. Let's go to this natural versus artificial. Oh no, that was different cracks. So I'm trying to keep it moving. Just showing y'all what y'all need to see right now. Y'all can look at any of this shit later. Um, Let me see. Oh, what's in the wall? Path. Okay. So, if you go, let's look at. No, I just showed y'all that one. Okay. Wait, this might be okay. I'm looking through trying to see if there's anything else I need to show y'all. What's this? I don't know what I was doing right here. Oh no, that's not even my video. Okay, that's Jamila. Okay, I think that's it here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it here. Like I said, Joe, you can go back and look through anything you want to look through. There's videos up in there you guys can check out. All right, so that was Joshua Tree. And so essentially, what we're looking at is a form of melted buildings. Just like in the last folder I showed you guys all those melted buildings. Yo, Joshua Tree, not Joshua Tree, Sedona, same thing. Same thing. And so this brings us to Joshua Tree. All right. So let me change this. Anybody with a link? Great. What you say, AJ? Sedona was the ancient port city of Sidon. Phoenix, Arizona was beachfront also. Hey, cool. Ow. All right. So now we're going to Joshua Tree. So this is where we were last week. All right. So link up top. Let's look at, so what I want to show y'all. So I want to start by showing y'all something. Um, where is it at? Let's go to, where is it at? Where is it at? No, not that one. What the hell is it? If we look at, all right, where the hell is it? Hold on. Not that, not that, not that. So, oh, here it goes. Go to original rock PNG. It's a picture. Original rock PNG. So what you're looking at is the little part right there is what it looked like before it got hit with the energy weapon. That's the original look before it got hit with the energy weapon. And then you can see the rest of it is what the energy weapon did to it. So everything I'm finna show you from now on, you can see like, oh shit, this was all hit. This not what it looked like naturally. Get me? And I don't even think this is completely what it looked like. I think this might have got hit a little bit, just not as much as everything else.
So wait, you're saying the part that looks like sand is after? the energy weapon in the
Yes.
Does it feel like sand? Is it compact or
It feels like rocks.
okay?
It feels like rocks. So the one part feels smooth, right? And the other part feels like it's rough and feels rocky. Okay. So if you go down to Original Rock MOV, then you'll see you can kind of get a better idea. So even if you don't listen to it, you can see it. That's more of a video, right? And so you can see all around it. So the rest of the place looks like the rest of that stuff, right? There aren't many places where you can find the original rock, right? So we just so happen to found a little pocket where you can see, oh shit, this is what it looked like before it got hit. All right. Now go to brick transformation. All right. So that's at the top, brick transformation. And so same thing where you can kind of see what the brick looked like, but then you see how so like I said, I don't even think this was the original brick. I don't think this is originally what it looks like. It just looks like it didn't get hit as bad as the bottom of it. Right? So the bottom looks like it got hit way worse than the top. All of it got hit is just not the same. Okay. Let's look at the okay. Let's go to all right, go to the bottom where it says wall pick. So the wall was they tried to destroy it. So remember, they tried to destroy all of this. The wall, this part survived. Okay, this survived. See these? It was a wall right here. You see the wall. All right. So remember, you go here. This is Joshua Tree National Park. You go here and they tell you, oh no, it's just a bunch of rocks and mountains and that's it. Right? They don't tell you anything about the fact that this shit got hit with an energy weapon and that this was a construction. There's no construction back here. No, it's just rocks and shit. All right. And so when you look, you see that this is a big ass wall right here. Looked like it got knocked down. Looked like it got knocked down, but it
Damn,
definitely
my
went up
nigga,
higher than this.
I'm looking through your Joshua Tree pictures and I don't see no photo creds, nigga.
No who?
Photo credits.
Oh, photo credits. That's some shit.
Nigga, don't act like I ain't take some of them goddamn pictures, nigga. Don't do that.
Maybe you did. Let's see. Look at wall and flat tops. Right? So that's a video. Okay. So is me. It's a video. You can see me kind of touching on the wall, showing that something happened here. All right. And so that wall goes kind of all the way along back here. And again, it was taken down. It was torn down. Okay. And then you're gonna look in the back, and there's these big old rocks, but they got a flat top on them. That's not natural. That's not natural at all. See that big old rock? And they're flat. They kind of look rectangled and squared off.
Which number?
It's called Wall and Flat Tops .mov. Wall and Flat Tops .mov. Okay. And then when you get to around a minute and 6 seconds, Right before it ends, I pan, and you can see how there's a rock there, and there's a layer in between the rock where it looks like. So all of this is construction, but somebody came through with an energy weapon and destroyed it, and so now it just looks like a pile of fucking rocks. So where we are is a construction. Okay. Um. So if you want, I'm gonna give you guys an idea of where we are. So go to the picture called Skull Rock. So when you go in the park, when you go in Joshua Tree National Park, this is the attraction. Like people pull over to take pictures next to this thing right here. They call it Skull Rock, right? They pull over. They don't know what the fuck it is. They just pull over and take pictures with it. Oh, it looks like a skull. He. Right? So everybody is like, it's hundreds of people a day come, pull right up the fucking Skull Rock, get out, take a picture, and then they leave like they did something. The real shit is back where we was. Like there was nobody back there. Very few people came back there. Like if you really want to know what's going on, you got to go back here and goddamn and see what's going on. And what you find is that this whole thing is a construction.
Walking through the wilderness and shit.
Right. The whole thing was a fucking construction. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
what are we thinking is the reason that they wanted to use an energy weapon on this?
They were destroying the old world.
Okay, so more of the same.
More of the same. They destroyed the old world.
You think the Skull Rock was also a building remnant, or
I think
was it
that
something
Skull
else?
Rock thing was a statue or something.
Hmm.
It's a bunch of shit here I think were statues.
So when you saying destroying the old world, uh,
Hmm.
is there anything biblically that you could tie that to, or is there, I don't know, it's probably an assumption. Is there anything? What's the old world? When was the old world?
When? I can't
Yeah,
give you a number of years. All I'm looking at
not a
is,
number of years, but like what you may feel like was going on in time, or the people that were here.
so if I had to take a guess, I would say this is Old Testament shit.
I'll take that.
It's probably a different eras of quote unquote old world. There's old and older.
So the only thing I would say
Before
about
or after
that
God?
is that it looks like they were all destroyed with the same type of weapon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean people been getting killed with guns for hundreds of years.
Hey yo. Have
Are we
they?
talking before or after Garden of Eden when you say old world?
Um So it depends. So again, I'm not a Christian. I don't think of Garden of Eden like that.
I'm just asking like a normal person to think.
Oh, um, so a normal person would probably say after.
So this is some shit after they was banished type shit. You know what I mean? This is what was going on in the rest of the places and shit.
Right.
Is this like Book of Enoch time or no?
So again, now you asking me to fucking put some
Well,
dates on shit.
obviously loosely, but
Yeah. So you talking about fallen angels type shit?
because
Um,
the Book of Enoch talks about them cutting down the trees and all that.
yeah. So this happened after the trees were cut down. Remember, this shit is all this is built on. So I'm gonna tell you. Um, Joshua Tree National Park is built like it's at elevation. This shit is like 2,000 feet high. So if I had to take a guess, I would say that this is built on like the where a big ass tree used to be, right? If I had to take a guess, just because it's so fucking high up. You know what I mean? I think it's so fucking high up. I think this is the remnants of where a big ass tree used to be at. And they built on top of it. You know what I mean? So this is all after the trees got cut down. After the trees got cut down and the place was excavated, they started building these shits, or they continued building these shits, right? So whether it was, when I look at this shit, um, whether it was like statues or hold on, there's this one video. Where is it at? No, not the broad view. Where's it at? Not the broad rock. Hollow Rock. So there's a video in here called Hollow Rock, where again these look like solid stone, right? But then once you tap on them, they sound like they would break open, like they sound hollow. And so if you cut the sound up, you hear me patting on it. It sounds like do 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 do, like a fucking wood box. It sounded wooden, or at least if not wooden, at least hollow. This doesn't sound like solid stone. Okay, so that's one of the things that was real interesting. This shit don't sound like solid stone, and so part of the issue is I'm looking at all these things that look like solid stone, but then I'm seeing lines where you can see these two pieces come together. It was like, oh shit, this is not one piece. It looks like one piece because it was deformed when it was destroyed, but it's not one piece. So if you look at, let me see, is it a picture called Equal Lines? So Equal Lines is a video where on this rock, you can see just two equal lines running the length of the rock. Get me? And so you'll see those lines were everywhere, like on the ground, on the rocks. Like that was something different. I don't know if that was the stuff that kept them together, but there was something, you would see it everywhere. It's on the ground. Let me see. It's actually in the last video. Where is it at? Also, you can see where a lot of these look like what they look like rocks. You can see them put together. So this isn't a natural thing. This isn't some rocks just kind of, oh, they came together naturally. It looks like it was some sort of structure that was built, and whatever they hit it with made it malleable and soft. Because we're going to look at some pictures where you can see it looks like some giant fingerprints in these shits. It looks like some giant fingerprints where somebody touched it and it got pushed in. Kind of like if some clay was soft and you touched it, if there would be an indentation, right? Let me see. What does it say? Footprint. So hold on. I don't want you to look at that one yet. Not hollow rock. Not line up. Melted rock. Let me see what melted rock is. So here, look at melted rock. This is a picture called melted rock. And so you can see where it's some rounded, where it looks like the shit was melted and somebody touched it or pushed it in. Like it looks like it was melting. Like maybe it was made of some sort of clay, and then whatever device they used made it soft, and everything just kind of folded in, folded over. But these things are not, this is not one big rock. It was put together. Like, I think this might have been clay. I think Rhonda was right. This shit was clay. Get me? Shit's clay. Okay. Let's see. That's wall flat tops. Let me see. Oh, so go to the picture called walls. down at the bottom. And so this is what I mean when like there are these lines that ran all over the place. I don't know if these were walls that were torn down. Like, is this where the wall was and it was torn down? But it seems like this was a protrusion. But it was everywhere. They ran everywhere. It was something protruding from here. I don't know. I don't even know. It might have been a wall underneath it. Maybe this was something underneath it that was pushing up. As the top got softer, then this, what you see, this line right here, might be pushing up from the bottom. So it might be a wall that's underneath it. Okay, but it's everywhere here. Like you would see them everywhere. All right. Let's see. Showed y'all Skull Rock. Let me see Prince in the Clay. Oh, go to Prince in the Clay. So you can see more what I'm talking about. Where, those are rounded. Those aren't hard, jagged. They're rounded and smooth, as if it got soft and then something touched it and it just kind of held its prints. And then you can see that this isn't just one big rock. Okay, it's not one big rock. It's put together. It's pieces put together. The clay folded. What you say, Meaty? Could it be fake? I don't think so. Like, this shit is everywhere. If you look, I did a panoramic view. Where is it at? I think I said overview. What's it called? This shit is everywhere. Like, fake for the purpose of what? All right. What are they faking? Because remember, they're lying about it. So they're not telling you, oh, look, this is, it was a construction that melted, this, that, and other. That's not their story. Their story is that, oh, it's just a bunch of rocks. It was formed by water. They say, oh, it was formed by water and erosion. How the fuck water and erosion caused this? This don't look like this. And how it caused this? Like, no. So their story is wrong, like, is a lie. So yeah, that's why the idea of them, like, it being fake, the only thing fake about it is the story. You know what I mean? And so what we saw in Joshua Tree was something similar to Sedona, except for it's a different material, right? It's a different material. And so something different happened to it, right? It presents differently. And go to where it says piles of dirt, right? So piles of dirt, this is the same thing we see that we saw in other places. Why? Because it was giant trees here and they had to be processed. So these are everywhere. These are your mountains, right? Go to piles of dirt too, right? That's just processed tree material. It looked like it went through a wood chipper. Went through a wood chipper, they piled it up, and then they left it there. Piles of rock 3. That's your giant tree that was cut down and put through a wood chipper. Right? They didn't leave they didn't want to leave the big ass branches here, so they cut them down. It's just like when the people come through your crib, like if you get a tree cut down, they don't just cut the tree down. They dismember the branches one by one, and then they put that shit in a wood chipper, and they'll make a pile, but they take it with them. These people didn't take it with them. They left it right there. Okay. They left it right there. I was like, be all right. Leave this shit right here. If you look at the Powers of Rock 4, there's a video, right? This is them after they cut the tree down that was here. There was branches and shit that was here, branches and leaves and all that shit. They cut it down and they processed it. Powers of Rock 5. Like, once you see it, like, you can't unsee it. Like, when I was out there, this is all I see. I saw Powers of Rocks. Powers of Rock 6, right? Powers of Rock 7, right? Piles of Rubble, 2. Piles of Rubble. And then when I look out, like piles all around too. So when you look out, that's all you see is, yo, these people cut down the giant tree, and then as they chopped up the fucking pieces, they just created all these fucking piles. And they left it here. And we call it mountains. You can cycle through all the piles all around. Look at Piles of Rock 6. They literally just dropped the pile of rocks right here. I was like, oh shit, we gonna drop this pile of rocks right here. Piles of Rubble 5 is a movie. It was a video, I should say. It's dot move. Right? They just left these piles here. And we call them fucking mountains. No fucking mountain. It's the trash left over after they fucking processed the tree, after they chopped down the tree. That's it. That's all. And this shit is all over the world. It's not just here. It's all over the world. It's piles of fucking rubble, piles of dirt that we call mountains. That is really the remnants of the trees that got chopped down. And these piles petrified, and they're really hard, and now we call them rocks. And so that's what we saw in Joshua Tree. We saw more fucking processed tree material in the desert, and some horses. All right. Anybody got any questions?
I have one, but it's very unrelated. Let me see if Miss Rhonda in here.
Good. Keep your unrelated question to yourself.
Yeah, Miss Rhonda's in here. I'm gonna ask her. No, I'm playing. I'll get her later. Okay.
All right, good job. Anybody else on topic have any questions? So I said a lot here today. Trying to make sure I gave y'all everything. Let me look. Did I give y'all all my folders? Yeah, that's all the folders. Okay, cool. Anybody got any questions? Talked
Or
about a
maybe you
lot.
could go like just a little explanation as to why you won't do like a timeline. And I think I don't know who said it, but like we say the old world, like there is probably different times of the old world. It just depends on how old we want to talk about.
Yeah. So why wouldn't I do a timeline? Great question. Because I'm still piecing together how it happened, right? So it's like I'm looking at the thing. So I'm looking at, all right, we got these big ass trees that were here, okay? All right, I'm with it. And so for this, I have to use a number of things. I got to use the physical evidence, and then what I try to use is I try to use written accounts, like a lot of the religious accounts of shit as well. And so I try, because even though I'm not a religious person, I listen to those stories and they sound really, really relevant. And so I'm listening and I'm like, okay, how does this story fit with this account? So we talk about, we got these big ass trees that were here. Somebody cut these bitches down. Who cut them down? Don't know. Um, yeah, don't know who cut them down and why. I can surmise why. I think they were cut down for the crystals, but I don't know that. Right? They could have been cut down. They could have been cut down as a way to deoxygenate the planet, because large trees put out a large amount of oxygen, which means that humans would grow to be giants. So in order to get rid of the giants, you cut down the trees, and so now uh, the life forms that grow here will grow smaller. They'll grow to the level of the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if the trees were cut down for the crystals, or they were cut down to get rid of the giants, right? And they just took the crystals, just because. Then who the fuck cut them down, right? So let's say, all right. So, but now we got trees cut down, right? And so the planet's been terraformed. Um, so we have all these civilizations like in Joshua Tree, like in North Dakota, Colorado. They're over in fucking Europe. You got all of these places. These old world fucking civilizations. Who was living here? Was it the people that were here helping to terraform the planet, and this was their living quarters? Because you got all these different kingdoms that were here. You got kingdoms that were talked about in the Bible. Dude, there was there was a remnant of an entire fucking castle that I saw on a picture in St. Louis. It was like a castle like you would see during the medieval times. That shit was in fucking St. Louis. So we got pyramids that are buried underneath the fucking earth. So were the pyramids the power stations for the people cutting down the trees, right? Which is what kind of I suspect, right? So the Great Pyramid is a power supply, or whatever. It was used, and so you had pyramids like that all over the world. They were used as power supply for the people who needed power because they were fucking terraforming the planet. And so, in addition to that, you had to have places for people to live. And so, all of these structures, like in the Grand Canyon, you get all these fucking living quarters and structures and cities and shit. Are these the cities where the people who are actually doing the terraforming lived? Right? And so after that, did they stay living there, or when did that shit get destroyed? Who destroyed that, and for what purpose? Did it get destroyed after people started acting up, and then they had to flood the joint? Because in what was that place at? When I was showing the trees, there were lots of so he was at a high elevation, and there was evidence of running water that actually shaped a lot of the trees and shit. And you can see evidence of running water. So in my mind, I'm thinking during the terraforming, they had water running down off these different fucking places and shit. They created these rivers because they needed water to actually do terraforming. So like I said, it's a lot that goes with it, right? It's not just, it was this and then that, then that. No, it's a lot that goes with it, right? And then when you look at accounts in like biblical texts, the way that it was edited to where the things you think they're talking about sometimes they aren't really talking about. And so this is why I like Divana. Divana does a really, really good job of thinking outside the box when it comes to like reading the Bible per se, right? So she helped spark my brain in terms of understanding what was going on. So, for example, in what I think it was the book of Joshua, when they were talking about the trees in the Garden of Eden, Devon was like, yo, when they talk about trees in the Garden of Eden, they're talking about people. And when they're talking about animals, a lot of times they're talking about a people. Kind of like in the Game of Thrones, how each family was associated with an animal. So the snake wasn't really a snake in the Garden of Eden. It was a family whose crest may have bared the snake. And so the way that the Bible was written, right? It was in a coded kind of language so that they took out shit. Like it's a lot of shit that goes along with this shit. So to come up with a timeline is not as easy as you may think. It's a lot that goes into it. And anybody telling you that they know the
I appreciate
timeline
that
is
answer.
selling you something.
No, I was just saying I appreciate the answer. Yeah, if they're telling you a timeline, or they're trying to keep you in a
Right.
certain type of frame,
Right.
mind
They're trying
frame
to keep you in
frame
a
of mind.
framework. Right. Exactly. Because it's a lot that goes with it. And dude, trust me, I've been thinking about it. Like I say here, every time I talk about this shit, I'm always trying to put shit in some sort of chronological order. Like in my brain, I imagine sitting here with a 2,000 piece puzzle, right? All the pieces look kind of similar, but not, right? It's pieces that look kind of the same, and you ain't got no box. It's like shit. Ooh, this fits over here, kinda. Like it's a thing, brother. So that's what I'm saying. Mm. So, and that's kind of like what Marty asked at the beginning of this shit. We're like, man, you gonna tell us who did this shit? Nigga, I don't know. Trying to figure this shit out. But what I do know is that it looks like the story is here. It's just been divided, right? Like every religion has a piece of the story, right? And so I think it's like that. So the people that need to know, if ever they want to know the whole story, they know how to reconstruct it. And so they took the entire story and just divided that bitch up into different religions and sects and shit. And so they got everybody thinking that their story is the right one and that everybody else's story is wrong, when all the stories are right. It's just that they're all incomplete. So that's what it looks like if I had to take a guess. So it's there. It's just, coded. Huh. All right, y'all. All right, man. What did y'all think, man? Was this interesting enough for a Friday night?
Very enjoyable. Very interesting.
This interesting enough for a Friday night?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, most definitely.
I know y'all like to be partying and turning up. Y'all the turn up crew. Some of y'all over there drunk right now. I'm over here drinking water. All right.
I wonder why.
Shush. Um. All right,
You
y'all.
think he's trying to clear his mind, clear his body?
I am. I'm definitely trying to purge. I'm pounding ivermectin, drinking lots of water. I'm all right. All right. You know what? I got the golden okay. Meaty said it was very interesting indeed. You know what I mean? So, give you guys a quick recap. So,
Wait, you trying to say that she gave you the golden okay?
yeah, man, Meaty don't think nothing is okay. She
Well,
be
what
over there.
about the rest of us?
Meaty won't even talk. I can't get you to shut the hell up. So,
Linnell, don't start with me. I know you trying to close out, baby. You don't want me to get started in it. Calm down. Go ahead on, do your little positivity thing.
you know what? I am gonna do some positivity. Let me see. Let's see. What am I gonna get for y'all?
Hey, real
Uh,
quick, did y'all ride the horses in the same place where you were like exploring? Is all this the same Joshua Tree? It's
um,
like did you take the horse up to the wooden
no,
mountain?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. No, he had a little rant. So, dude, you gotta pay to go to these fucking national parks. Yo, the government is on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Dude, they took some shit that was already here. They just put up a gate
Roped it
and was
off
like,
like,
yeah, you
hey,
gotta pay to come up in
pay us to
here.
visit this. Yeah. Yeah.
Bruh, swear to God.
That's how they pay the park
But you
rangers and
know,
maintain it. Make sure it stays pristine and clean. They gotta take care of the shit.
man. All right, yo, let's do some positivity, man. Let's see. Let's see what I got for y'all. Um, let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one because I be having so much fun. All right, man. Here goes y'all, mama, the positivity, yo.
Never complain, never explain. And what it means is don't complain about life. Don't explain what you're doing or why you're doing it. Just do it. By whining and complaining, all you're doing is making people think bad things about you. You're looking weak. And when you complain a lot, you have a mindset where everything is kind of a potential complaint. Stop whining and stop explaining yourself and just do things in the world and let your actions speak for themselves.
Hey. All right, y'all. Speaking of never complain, when we come back on Wednesday, I'm gonna do World War II, right? AKA the Holocaust. So this should put a nice little bow on our segment regarding the satanic Jews. So yeah, man, I'm coming with the smoke on Wednesday, man. They might ban me after this one, so we gonna see.
Yeah, you got to speak about the mustache man.
Definitely gonna talk about the mustache, man. All right. All right. I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. This was fun, man. I like y'all. Dude, y'all know I like melted building. Like any melted building talk, giant tree talk, mud flood talk. Like I'm here for all of it. All right. So I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. I'll see y'all on Wednesday. I'll see y'all on Wednesday, man. All right. Peace.
Is Love and Light in a Bottle, a CBD infused salve that rids the body of pain, arthritis, carpal tunnel, and muscle aches. There's no job too great for Vigor Sport. Headaches, muscle spasms, and menstrual cramps are a thing of the past. Vigor Sport is the Swiss Army knife of your medicine cabinet. Order your jar today at vigorforpain.com.
Thanks for coming to the cookout, but you need the right gear. Blackisuniform.com, you can get it right here. We talk flat earth and mud floods. You might hear about the dome. No matter the topic, you just need something with the shield on. Blackisuniform.com, where conspiracy analysts are at home. Blackisuniform.com, where conspiracy analysts are at home.